Bzz. Bzz. Shirou moaned as he heard the alarm clock in his room going off. He then rose from his bed and turned to the side to turn off the alarm clock. As he did, he then noticed something. Fou was sleeping on his bed sheets, snoring softly as he was laying there on top of Shirou's bed sheets. Fou, huh? It's been a few days since Mashu left me in charge of him. Well, guess after getting myself ready, I'll wake him up, Shirou thought as he looked at Fou. Shirou then proceeded to move the bed covers gently and got out of his bed. He then grabbed his katana that he placed in a nearby corner of the wall and proceeded to wake Fou up. However, before he could do so, he felt something latch onto his leg. As he looked down, he saw the thing that was latching onto his leg was Fou. Shirou let out a small sigh. You're quite the quick riser, aren't you, Fou? Fou. Shirou then kneeled to a level that Fou was comfortable with and gave him his arm. Want to get on? Fou. Fou exclaimed happily before he then began to run across Shirou's arm and headed towards on top of Shirou's head. Fou. Shirou let out a sigh. Why on my head again? Shirou was walking in one of the hallways of Chaldea, heading towards the cafeteria. As he continued walking, he received many stares from the other servants in which they were looking at Fou, who happened to be residing on Shirou's head. Shirou let out a sigh. I'm going to need to get used to this. As he continued walking, it was then that he came across Lancer Cu, who happened to be passing by. Hey there, kid. Cu said. Hey there, Cu, Shirou replied. Cu let out a grin before noticing Fou that was on his head. Hey kid, that animal is stuck on your head again. Shirou let out a sigh. Yeah. It seems that Fou has taken a liking of me. Cu chuckled. Looks like it. So, what's with the deal with him? Isn't he supposed to be with the girl that follows Master around? Well, it's a long story. Shirou said as he began to recall an event that led up to this point. Yesterday, Shirou was in the cafeteria, cleaning the dishes as he was done with his duties in the cafeteria for today. As he was washing the dishes, Mashu then came into the room, holding Fou in her hands. HM? Mashu? Fou? Hey there, Shirou-san, Mashu replied as she was coming up to where Shirou is. Fou. Fou said. Mashu? What are you doing here? And with Fou? Well, Shirou-san, I have a request to ask for you. HM? A request? Yes. What is it? Well, can you take care of Fou-san for a while? Shirou was confused with Mashu's request. What? Mashu was startled for a bit. Is that a no? Well, no. I'm just surprised by your request. Anyways, why are you asking me to take care of Fou? Mashu let out a small sigh. Well, tomorrow, me and Senpai will be out on a small singularity and we won't be back for a while. I see. But why me though? Shirou asked. Well, Fou seems to like you out of everyone here. And plus, I have a weird feeling if I leave him alone in Chaldea, he'll, well, kick either Merlin, his female counterpart, or both of them at the same time, correct? Shirou said as he finished Mashu's sentence. Yes. Shirou let out a sigh. Figures. When it comes to Merlin and even his female counterpart, Fou always kicks them in the face for some reason, and I don't know why. Honestly, it's still a mystery to me about why Fou hates Merlin so much that even any counterpart of Merlin angers him. Shirou-san? Mashu said, snapping Shirou out of his thoughts. HM? Oh, it's nothing. Anyways, you want me to take care of Fou for the next few days, correct? Shirou said. Yes. HM. Sure. I can take care of him for a few days. Ma Shou let out a smile. Yes. Thank you, Shiro-san. No problem. Now, are there some things I should be wary of? Well, aside from his usual behavior against Merlin and his counterpart, there isn't a pattern he should follow. Although I should suggest one thing. What is it? If he ever works up a sweat, ask Da Vinci for his usual shampoo. Shiro was dumbfounded at that moment. Back to the present. And that's why Fou is with me, Shiro said as he was done explaining the event that led him up to Fou occupying Shiro's head. So basically, while Master and the young lady who follows him are out for a few days, you are in charge of taking care of that little animal that's occupying your head, correct? Siyu asked. Exactly. Siyu let out a snicker. Wow. Never thought that I would see you taking care of an animal. And especially like this. You're telling me. Although I don't know why Fou always occupy my head. Fou. Siyu laughed at Fou's answer before stopping shortly. Anyway, I got to go now. See you later, kid. Yeah. Bye, see you. Fou. Soon, Siyu left and Shiro along with Fou continued walking down the hallway towards the cafeteria. Eventually, he arrived and saw both Emiya and Emiya alter already there. And they were already snickering from seeing Fou on top of Shiro's head. Shiro let out a sigh upon seeing his alternate counterparts' reactions. Really? Sorry, it's just too hilarious to see you like this. Emiya said with a few snickers in his voice. Yeah. Especially when there's an animal that's on your head. And that animal happens to be the same one that hates Merlin and his counterpart, Emiya alter said while trying to contain his laughter. Shiro mentally groaned as he got to the kitchen. You too. Fou. Emiya and Emiya alter then let out some laughter after hearing Fou's reaction, causing Shiro to sigh again. Really? Sorry. They muttered. Shiro let out a sigh again. Anyways, let's get today started. Fou, can you get down from my head for a moment? Fou. Fou said as he soon began to jump down from Shiro's head and landed on a counter. As he did, Shiro, Emiya, and Emiya alter started to cook the meals for the morning. As time passed, Shiro, Emiya, and Emiya alter were finished with some of the dishes they had to prepare for everyone. It was then that Fou caught a whiff of the food Shiro was making and he got closer to the stove he was cooking on. Shiro noticed this and brought his free hand between the stove and Fou, creating a wall between the two. Fou, don't come any closer to the stove. You'll get burned if you do so, Shiro said. Fou. Fou. Fou replied as he pointed at the pot that had soup on it. You want a taste of it? Fou. Fou excitedly replied with eyes that even Shiro couldn't resist. Shiro let out a sigh. Sorry Fou, but it's not done yet. Wait until it's done, okay? Fou. Fou said as he moved back to a safe area on the tabletop. Eventually, Shiro, Emiya, and Emiya alter were done cooking the meals. As they were done, it was then that Shiro fulfilled his promise with Fou. He then grabbed a small bowl and scooped up a small portion of the soup he made for today and handed it to Fou, which he accepted. Fou then began to drink the soup. Well, how is it? Shiro asked. Fou. Fou said happily. Shiro let out a smile. Glad that you like it. Meanwhile, Emiya and Emiya alter looked at the scene with a confused face and had one thought in mind. Since when was my younger self able to communicate with him? And since when was Fou a fan of my younger self's cooking? Alright, what do you want to do next, Fou? Shiro asked as he was walking in one of the hallways of Chaldea with Fou on his head. Fou. Fou said as he pointed to a certain direction. Shirou stopped walking for a moment and looked at the direction Fou was pointing to, which was the training room. The training room? You want to go over there, Fou? Fou exclaimed cheerfully. All right. Let's go then. Shirou and Fou then went into the training room. As they arrived, Shirou kneeled to allow Fou to go down safely. Fou then got off from Shirou's head and headed towards a nearby training dummy. Shirou was surprised at the training dummy that Fou was going up against, in which was quite big for him and was also hanging in the air. Hey Fou. Are you sure that you can hit that? Shirou asked. Fou replied. Are you sure? Fou. Shirou let out a sigh as he now knew that Fou was serious in hitting the giant punching bag. All right then. Go get it. Then in an instant, much to Shirou's surprise, Fou immediately jumped into the air and kicked the punching bag while screaming, Die Merlin, Fou. As Fou kicked the punching bag in the air, he then quickly landed into the ground only to jump into the air again and kicked the punching bag again while screaming, Die Merlin, Fou. Shirou was shocked with how much damage Fou was giving to the punching bag. Wow. Fou's hatred for Merlin and his female counterpart, it's that huge? Die Merlin, Fou. Fou screamed as he continued kicking the punching bag. Hey Fou, stop moving. Shirou said as he was scrubbing Fou. Fou replied as he was shaking in the water. Right now, Shirou was washing Fou in his room's bathroom on a small tub after the workout Fou did earlier, which consisted of punching a punching bag many times, while yelling Die Merlin, Fou, along with it as well. After Fou was done with his workout, Fou went up to Shirou's head as usual. However, when he did, he smelled something funny coming from Fou and deemed that Fou needs a bath immediately. Which brings to the event now. Hold still Fou. Shirou said. Fou. Fou yelled. Shirou let out a soft sigh as he was scrubbing Fou's back with a specialized shampoo for Fou that Da Vinci made for him a while ago. Wow. I can't believe that there's a specialized shampoo for Fou here. He thought as he kept scrubbing Fou's back. Eventually, he was done cleaning Fou's back and was going for Fou's ears. Okay, Fou, I'm going to clean your ears, so don't move. Okay? Fou. Alright then. Here we go. Shirou then began to clean Fou's ears with no resistance from him. As he was washing his ears, Shirou realized how fluffy Fou is everywhere. Wow. Fou is so fluffy everywhere. Eventually, Shirou was done with cleaning his ears. Alright, now I'm going to wash you off and then dry you off, so don't move. Okay? Fou. Good. Now stand still. Fou then began to pour water on Fou, getting rid of the suds that were on him. Afterwards, he then began to grab a nearby towel and dried him off with it. Shirou then grabbed a hairdryer and began to dry his hair. Eventually, Fou's fur was dried. Alright. That should be good. You're free now, Fou. Upon hearing Shirou's words, Fou immediately started to run around in Shirou's room, allowing Shirou to have a sigh of relief as his task of washing Fou was done. Shirou then went to his bed and laid down over there. However, as he did, Fou then jumped onto the bed and landed on his stomach. Fou? Shirou said. Fou. Fou said before he started to sleep on Shirou's stomach. Shirou let out a small sigh and a smile. Thank you for watching over Fou-san Shirou-san. Mashu said. No problem Mashu, Shirou replied. I take it that Fou-san hasn't caused you any problems? Nope. He didn't give me any problems these past few days. I see. Anyways, thanks for your help Shirou-san. No problem. Although there is one thing I should mention. What is it? Shirou took a small breath. I think Fou took a liking to my food.